TIFU when I forgot I had a twin sister. So my twin sister and I live in the same city and have very similar jobs. She's a UX researcher and I'm a UX, UI designer. One day, before the pandemic, I was out shopping at a grocery store and I noticed that a man I had never met before, looking at me and smiling. I started to get creeped out, returned his gaze with a glare, and hurried through my shopping. When I got to the checkout line, he hurried over to be in the same line as me, and I really started to get freaked out. Finally, while I was walking out to my car, he rushed out and at this point I'm shook. I pull out my pepper spray, point it at him, and shout, "Fuck off, dude." Quote. With absolute horror and fear on his face he said, "Whoa. I just wanted to say hi. It's been a while and I was wondering how work was going." Confused and freaked out, all I could muster was a, "What?" Quote. I wanted to ask how the UX research education program is going. I really enjoyed that presentation you gave to my team and I just wanted to say that we're starting to do unmoderated A/B tests. Quote. I had given research presentations to engineering teams at my company before so I started to think. He worked at my company. Oh my God. Do you work at my company? Quote. He looked helpless. No. Wait, did you leave twins company? Quote. Then it dawned on me. I would have been embarrassed if it weren't for the immediate sense of relief I felt when I realized this man wasn't trying to wear my skin. I lowered my pepper spray armed hand and said, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. You must know my twin sister. Name. I am so sorry." Quote. Quote. Name. Has a twin? He looked shocked and relieved. We both ended up laughing and he apologized for his aggressive behavior. I apologized on behalf of my twin, who failed to mention I existed. Though in her defense, and my own, it's really hard to work into a professional conversation, by the way. I have a twin sister that looks just like me and doesn't work far from here. If you think you see me out and about, be cautious. It may be my twin sister and she will pepper spray you. TLD or I nearly pepper sprayed a man because he thought I was my twin sister and was being aggressively friendly, which I mistook as predatory behavior. My twin brother always runs into PPL I know, but he can't ever remember if he knows them or not. So to avoid him telling someone he knows, I think you know my twin, and them responding with, "No, I know you," he'll just say hi back and act like he's in a hurry and go. Then the next time I see them they are always like, "Why were you so rude last time I saw you?" My twin and I each had 2 jobs in high school. At the end of the day, a guy came into the restaurant where I worked and was like, "How many jobs do you have?" He's seen each of us at both of our jobs that day. Years ago when I was in college I sat beside a lovely young girl who was as friendly as can be. After several days of classes and getting to know her a bit, I saw her again on campus. I said hello to her and she looked like she didn't know me. She said, "Oh, I'm so-and-so's sister." Cool. She had an identical twin. A few weeks later I saw her again and said hello. "Are you not sister 1? Nope. Are you not sister 2? Nope. They were identical triplets. I shit you not. As a twin I have had many similar types of these experiences. Once I almost got fired because my boss ran into my twin and my twin told him to go fuck himself. When he asked why, I wasn't at work. Years back, my husband was on a ferry and smiled and waved at a man that he thought was my then boss. He was puzzled that he just got a weird look in response. When he got home, he said, "Is Joe okay?" I saw him on the ferry to place he was going and he just gave me the cold shoulder. Me. Honey. Joe couldn't have been on that ferry. He was working today. He was helping me reorganize the electrical section of the parts department all day. Are you sure it wasn't his brother? Quote. And that was the day my husband learned my boss, whom he'd known longer than me, had a twin. I have a twin as well. And one day I was waiting at a subway station and this woman who sat across me kept staring at me. So when we got onto the train, she kept looking at me and sat next to me. I was about to say, "Why are starting at me like that?" Thank God I didn't. So she suddenly asked me, "Do you have a twin sister?" Since I have a twin sister, I said yes. My sister and I aren't quite identical, so I wondered how she recognized me. But in my defense, I'm really not good when it comes to remembering names and faces, so we started talking. She told me that my sister did work experience where she works. Thank God I didn't say, "Yes, my sister did her work experience at the sports club." Well, she then continues to describe to me how nicely my sister had worked with the children in her kindergarten. Well, shit. Then it clicked. My sister hates children. But I've done my work experience in a kindergarten. So then for an hour-long train ride I pretended to be my sister talking about myself with a woman whom I had worked for because I didn't recognize her. Yeah, well, shit. I'm lucky that I've never told her that my twin sister and I aren't identical. I went to school with multiple sets of twins. One of the sets was identical and I'm 99% sure they switched places sometimes. Even their own family members can't tell them apart. I worked with a girl that was a twin. Call her Lori. One day about a year after she left our store, I see her walk in and I go and hug her and say how much I missed her as I'm hugging her. She said quietly in my ear, "I'm not Lori. I'm Linda." Oops. My stepdad's friend told him that he saw my mom kissing another man and therefore cheating on him. It was my aunt, mom's identical twin, and her husband. I had a teacher in high school explicitly warn us that if we saw him public and he completely ignores us or acts strange when approached, it's his twin. It's not that much of a stretch. I have a twin sister and we look really alike. We work in the same language school. And after a few times of seeing the poor students' offended faces when I don't recognize them, I just get into a habit of smiling and being friendly to anyone who says hello. It never gets old. I even answer to my sister's name so I don't seem rude. One of my teachers ran into my twin sister a few minutes after leaving my class one day. She couldn't figure out how I had gotten out ahead of her. She started giving out to my sister, saying stuff like, "I don't know what games you're trying to play, but you won't get away with this." She was delightfully mortified when my sister eventually figured out what was going on and told her she had the wrong person. I lived in a group with someone who had an identical twin. One day he came to visit the group, but they didn't tell us he was coming. He grew a mustache for the visit and basically acted like an evil doppelganger. "Hey Aaron. Quote. Go fuck yourself. Quote. Question mark. Quote. I'm a twin and used to have this problem on our college campus all the time. We both went to the University of Kentucky and she was active in a church there. Her friends would always wave and try and talk to me and I would just give them a weird look and walk away. They apparently would tell her I was rude to them or ask why she didn't say hi. She always got mad at me. My brother got yelled at in high school because he ignored a girl that waved and said hi to him in the hall. He just kept walking. I thought she was waving at someone behind me. It happened a lot, rolling on the floor laughing. I had twin colleagues in my earlier workplace. It was pretty easy to tell them apart. Her boobs were bigger than his. My husband has an older brother who lives nearby. They look identical except one has darker hair. Even their friends struggle to tell them apart if they haven't seen them for a while. But I've lost track of the times we've been approached by strangers, and not always in a positive fashion. My husband jokes he has an evil twin running about town. In 7th grade, a girl I didn't know kept smiling at me as I passed her in the halls. Few weeks later, my brother introduced me to his girlfriend and it all made sense. Tears of joy. I, 25, had exactly the same situation a while back. I have a twin brother, and after a night out, some guy was greeting me a few times at the train station, smiling awkwardly. I started to think that something must be wrong with him, mentally challenged or just creepy. So I politely nodded and ignored him. 2 days later, my twin brother came home after work and told me about his colleague who specifically took time to come and see him at their airport job to blow up, and desperately ask him about why he ignored him the other night. Turns out the guy was a good friend of my twin brother who felt horrible about being ignored by his friend, me, and didn't understand why my twin brother was so cold to him. After we all laughed, of course. He understood the situation immediately when he learned that his colleague has a twin brother. I outed my friend to his twin brother one night. Did that with a very long and passionate hello kiss. Couldn't figure out why he looked so shocked until he said he'd go get my friend. Twin drama.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.